one of my direct subordinates, one of my guys that worked for me, he would call me up or pull me aside with some major problem, some issue that was going on. And he'd say, boss, we got this and that and the other thing. And I'd look at him and I'd say, good. And finally one day he was telling me about some issue that he was having, some problem. And he said, I already know what you're going to say. And I said, well, what am I going to say? He said, you're going to say good. He said, that's what you always say. When something is wrong and going bad, you always just look at me and say good. And I said, well, yeah, when things are going bad, there's going to be some good that's going to come from it. Didn't get the new high-speed gear we wanted? Good. Didn't get promoted? Good. More time to get better. Oh, mission got canceled? Good. We can focus on another one. Didn't get funded. Didn't get the job you wanted. Got injured. Sprained my ankle. Got tapped out? Good. Got beat? Good. You learned. Unexpected problems? Good. We have the opportunity to figure out a solution. That's it.
Did you know that certain animals, like the armadillo, have literal armor built into their bodies to protect themselves from predators? You could call it nature's way of giving them the resilience to survive in harsh environments. I will get to the story of the armadillo in a bit, but before then, as humans in our own lives, we face a different kind of danger. Criticism, judgment, negativity, and many more. But just like those animals with natural armor, we too can develop our own form of protection. Which leads us to a pivotal question every man must answer at some point in his life. How do you thrive when the world seems to be throwing everything at you? In this video, we're going to explore the idea of building a thick skin, not physically, but mentally and emotionally. We'll discuss how developing resilience can help you not only survive, but thrive, no matter what others throw your way. Let's go back to the armadillo. By evolution, they develop tough, scaly armor that acts as their natural defense against predators in the wild. Their scales are so tough and impenetrable that they can ward off even the sharpest teeth or most aggressive predators. However, these armadillo aren't invincible. They're still vulnerable in other ways, like their slow movement or their inability to fight back with strength. But their armor is what keeps them safe, helping them endure threats that would otherwise overwhelm them. In other words, they teach us that dangers might always come, but you can be the kind of person that thrives despite opposition. Hold that thought, and let's turn our focus to the armored fish, some of the earliest vertebrates on Earth. One rarely known but fascinating detail is this. Many armored fish, like the ancient placoderms, didn't just have protective plating. They had jointed armor that covered their heads and thoraxes, allowing them to move their heads independently from their bodies. This was a revolutionary advantage in their time, giving them greater mobility and awareness in dangerous, predator-filled waters. Think about that. These fish weren't the fastest. They didn't have the most powerful bite. But their armor wasn't just about protection. It allowed them to navigate their world with a balance of defense and flexibility. And that's the lesson. Just like these ancient armored fish, thriving isn't about being invincible or overpowering your environment. It's about being equipped mentally and emotionally with the right kind of protection. The kind that doesn't make you rigid but helps you move through challenges with resilience. You don't have to be the strongest. You just have to be prepared, adaptable, and tough where it counts. For example, of course, the government owes us a good economy, but history shows that thriving is about having a thick skin and creating opportunities even when the odds are against you. Criticism, judgment, and negativity are inevitable parts of life. No matter how hard you try to avoid them, people will always have false opinions about you, whether you're doing well or struggling. What matters is not whether you face criticism, but how you handle it. Consider the story of Jackie Robinson, the man who broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball. In 1947, Robinson became the first African American to play in the MLB in the modern era, joining the Brooklyn Dodgers. The resistance Robinson faced was brutal. He was subjected to constant racial slurs, threats, and even physical violence from fans and players alike. Opposing teams would often target him with insults, and some players even refused to play against him. Robinson was called every name in the book, and the physical and mental toll of racism weighed heavily on him. Yet, despite the hatred and hostility, he did not retaliate. He remained silent and composed. Instead, he let his victories speak for him. In his first season with the Dodgers, Robinson led the team to victory and was named Rookie of the Year. His success on the field was undeniable, and just like that, he rewrote the story by leveraging his strengths to push through the challenges. We find another example in the story of Thomas Paine, the writer whose words helped ignite the American Revolution. In 1776, Paine published his pamphlet Common Sense, a fiery call for independence from Britain. His clear and persuasive arguments resonated deeply with ordinary colonists, and the pamphlet quickly sold over 500,000 copies, at the time an unprecedented number. But Paine didn't achieve this success without facing intense resistance. As a British immigrant with no formal position of power in the colonies, Paine's radical ideas were met with harsh criticism. He was a self-made man in a world of aristocrats, and his challenge to British rule was seen as dangerously subversive. His writings were denounced as unpatriotic, and he was vilified by loyalists to the crown. Despite this, Paine remained undeterred. He continued writing and speaking out against the injustices of British rule, even as he faced personal hardships. Paine's words, "These are the times that try men's souls," became a rallying cry for the American cause. His resilience helped lay the intellectual foundation for the Declaration of Independence and inspired countless Americans to stand against the British crown. We've seen how the armadillo and the armored fish thrive in their environments, not because they're invincible or because life is easy, but because they've developed the strength to endure and adapt. In the same way, we all have the ability to build our own emotional armor, enabling us to withstand criticism, judgment, and negativity without being broken down by it. And we've seen several men throughout history do this. Now, it's your turn. Life will always throw challenges and obstacles your way. Like someone said, when life gives you lemons, get vodka and make a cocktail.
Do like this video and subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video. Cheers!